Hello, and welcome to Pivot Points, your weekly spot to tune into for quick tips and tricks to help CEOs of all kinds, but especially my favorite, executive directors of nonprofit organizations. I'm Sarah Olivieri, Pivoteer, coach, trainer, former executive director to nonprofits and for-profits alike. And I come to you every week right out of my weekly coaching call with my actual private paying clients to give you some bit of gold nugget that came out of our actual call. And today I want to talk about an issue that came up around planning events. Who here's ever planned an event, whether it was a gala, a conference, anything like that, an educational event? I actually got my first nonprofit full-time job was I was asked to produce a multi-day conference on autism at the time. It was really fun. I learned so much. Temple Grandin was the keynote speaker. So there's lots and lots to do in an event, and we need to prioritize very carefully what we're going to do, because what we could do is enormous, right? And so today we were talking about what are those like extra above and beyond things that really make a difference, and what are those above and beyond things that actually we can skip, even though they make people feel really good. They're not necessarily what we want to do. So one example we were talking about, right? Like if you've ever been to an event and you got like a nice goodie bag with treats and things, maybe something was customized to you, that is actually not something that will necessarily bring people back to the event the next year, right? So that's an example of something that makes people feel good and maybe have fond memories, but fond memories alone are not necessarily going to bring people back the next year. Things that are more likely to bring people back, whether they're a sponsor or a participant, will vary slightly, but things like having a community that returns to the event every year. So were they able to make connections? Were they able to have a private dinner together? Things like that. How can you foster those relationships? Or maybe you can make them an offer where if they go ahead and sign up or commit to next year's event, at this year's event, they get some special bonus or something like that. And those things will go a lot farther in helping you achieve your event goals, as opposed to the warm and fuzzy things. And I told a quick story today. I went to an event that I paid a lot of money to go to, and they did an amazing job with the warm and fuzzy things. They had a masseuse on site. They gave us this fancy box with personalized treats and things. And I still remember those things very fondly, but you know what? None of that made me any more likely to re-attend one of their events in the future. The thing that would have made a difference is if I had a workbook, if they had invited me, and here we are live, I'm getting kiddified. Anyway, for those of you who are parents at home, and when you have a snow day, sometimes your kids are around, and that's okay. So think about the things that will really move the needle for getting people to come back the next year, as opposed to the things that will just make them feel like that was a nice, memorable, but one-time experience. I'm Sarah Olivieri. If you'd like to be in the room getting this kind of customized advice for yourself and having that conversation with me in a safe place with your peers, I highly encourage you to join the Thrive program. And otherwise, if you just like tips like this in your email inbox, go to pivotground.com/sign up. The link is in the description. And I'm going to go turn off my CEO hat and put on my mom hat.